AI powered research, with the name, it's very clear. Any artificial intelligence which is being used for research purposes is AI powered research. So we are automating the research process. It's not that we are working on AI for the research. No, we are leveraging AI to write our research or to conduct our research. So it means that it's like we give our computers authority to think, and we need to provide that food for think. Okay, food for thinking. That's where AI and human interaction comes in, or when we talk about AI powered research. So there are many areas where this AI can easily do your work. Even in a few cases, I asked AI to check or mark my student work, and it did perfect job. So with the feedback and all this, so it means that it have that ability to automate any process. Just we need to give them instruction, right set of prompts will do all this work. So AI-powered research involves the use of artificial intelligence to help researcher conduct experiment and analyze data. And that data can be literature review, can be any quantitative data, anything. So there is no limitation or what we call data. Okay, it can be number, it can be figure, and now even it can be literature or PDF files. I'll give you that demonstration how we can use different sort of data sets within AI tools. Okay, and this type of research is becoming more common in today's world due to its many benefits, as I mentioned also. Throughout this presentation, we'll explore these AI-powered research, its relevance, and current trends and methodologies. So that's just an introduction. Let's try to see where and how we use this AI research. So first, as I mentioned in my introduction, a data analysis and pattern recognition. And this data can be anything. It means that literally anything, because the deep learning and machine learning allow you to analyze any format of the data, even the pictures, videos. Have you seen that there are many, AI tools are already being used over the years? For example, the drone, for example, your camera light, all these are basically AI driven tools. And what they are doing exactly, they have your record, and then once you appear in the screen or appear in any picture, the system can automatically detect your face and it can recognize you. And this is how the drone technology, the most sophisticated drone technology all over the world, is working. No human intervention, but still it can operate and it can kill people as well. So at the same time, it have benefits, but also it is dangerous as well. But the thing is, we can analyze any format of the data with this AI tool. So there are no limitation. The only limitation is the way you think. There is no other limitation. So that's for the high-end research, where we have a huge amount of data, different sources of the data, and then we need to learn from that data. We can do that easily. Social media posts, picture, videos, comments. So okay, all these, we may think, being a business manager, we don't need to use this sort of data. No, we are using every kind of data, and we are trying to analyze that and generating different patterns from that. For example, social media posts, videos, comments. There are many different format podcasts. So all these different formats of the data, it was never possible before this to analyze this sort of data without AI tools. So that's why this tells us the story and the strength of AI tools which we already have in them. Now, another emerging tool, which is, I believe it's really powerful, which is language processing, NLP. Okay, and also they have LLM, large language models. Okay, so these NLPs are basically, which is you already know that ChatGPT and all these autopilot or these Microsoft Bing, they are all using these LLM models. So what this LLM model is used for, it can tell you anything out of the literature. So you can ask any question and system will give you reply based on the literature. And I will show you how we can do that. And that is specifically for literature review purposes when we are stuck with a huge number of studies and we are not sure from where to start and how we can get the information and do our literature review quickly. Those who were doing PhD maybe 10 years ago, they were, it was quite difficult for them to review literature and synthesize everything and then write a literature review chapter and relate everything, because it's not just a literature review chapter. In research, everything we need to relate it with the literature, and that was really a tricky job. But now it becomes so easy, so I believe it's simple that you can do it easily with the text mining and NLP techniques. So I will take you through all these techniques. This is the main topic for today. I can't cover the data analysis or predictive modeling simulation, but I'll try to cover this NLPs and ChatGPT thing, so we can learn how we can use different tools to analyze the data and generate our literature review from the existing body of knowledge. Okay, so the third, most important part where we are doing it is predictive modeling and simulation. So it can predict, it can allow us to, predict future. I'm not saying that we can just tell the whole story, but obviously we can learn from the trends and we can predict future in many ways, like stock exchange. It's really important to work within stock exchange, and now AI models are easily, uh, do that sentiment analysis as well. That was really an important part of research because it was difficult to include sentiment within the analysis. But now with AI tools, this is also possible because we can do some simulation, we can do some predictive model, we can check the hypothesis and all this. So all sort of simulations and predictive modeling is possible within this AI tool and AI research. But my focus today would be more on ChatGPT and natural learning, language processing, or LLM, large language models. Okay, so we'll discuss these parts in detail, but these are a few of these applications which we can use in order to work with AI tools. Now, when we talk about AI-powered research, let's bring it from a sophisticated lab to a simple PC where everybody can get benefit from these AI tools. So what are those platforms which we can use and we can work with this AI-powered research and AI-powered tools which can help us to automate our research process? Okay, so that's where I have identified a few of these tools, but this is a very limited list. There are many, many, many other tools which you can use, but depending on the choice and the need for those tools, I'll take you through these all tools one by one. And once we are done, we will be coming back to this slide. But first, let's see what are the different tools available. So first and foremost important tool is ChatGPT. Everybody is talking about this ChatGPT, and this has almost revolutionized everything and the way we think about the research. And ChatGPT is not new. We were using the similar large language models in if you are familiar with the Quillbot and also Grammarly, all these tools which allow you to correct your grammar or English and paraphrasing, they were using AI models. So it is not something new, but what happens is ChatGPT make it open source, and that's where all this, information and all this, I think, revolution is coming in. So ChatGPT can do so many things beyond your expectations, but we need to learn how we operate with ChatGPT. But there are some certain limitations with the ChatGPT as well. I will talk about these different sort of the limitations while we will be doing some practical experiment here. But the ChatGPT is, there are two versions of ChatGPT. One is 3.5 and the second one is 4. So 3.5 version is free to use, but it is until it have data until September 2021. So that's why and there is a limitation on the information available. So that might be possible the information available is not, latest. So that's why we need to work with ChatGPT 4. So if you are using ChatGPT 4, you need to pay at least $20 per month. So that's expensive. So that's why some people they can afford. If you can afford, obviously there is no alternative better than ChatGPT. So please, if you can afford, go ahead and use ChatGPT. It will help you a lot. From writing email to reading your email to, even writing your simple messages, ChatGPT can help you in every aspect of your life. And then because the ChatGPT is based on ChatGPT 3.5 for free version, and that limitation is not there in the Bing. Microsoft Bing is the same ChatGPT, but it is ChatGPT 4, so it can be linked with any website, and it have all the information. So the latest information is also available on Microsoft Bing, and the similar aspect is being covered in Google Bard. Okay, so these two tools are using ChatGPT 4, the latest ChatGPT. It means that latest GPT means that it is using general purpose technology, but it is also able to interact with the website and collect the latest information. So it will give you some added advantage. We'll see where these advantages are coming in and they become handy. In some cases, yes, we need latest information. And in some cases, I would be prefer to work with ChatGPT only. But these three tools, which I mentioned, Microsoft Bing, ChatGPT, and Bard, these three tools are general purpose and it can work on any aspect of your life. It's not just focus on the research. If you want to ask them to write an email to your boss, they can do that. If you want to write a story, it can help you. If you want to write a song, it can help you. But it's a general purpose technology. So based on these ChatGPT 4 and 3 technology, some of these powerful tools are being created for researchers. So Power Drill is a really powerful tool because it allow you to work with ChatGPT 4 and also it allow you to work with uploaded files. That is another very important feature of this Power Drill. So I'll demonstrate that feature as well. So it is focused on the research purposes only. These three, the lower three applications, they are only for researchers. Okay, so if you are doing research, you are doing literature review, you want to understand, you want to extract the information from the previous literature, this is the tool you can use. And if you want to work on maybe 10, 20 or 30 PDF files where you want to use those PDF files and extract the information and write a literature review from that, Power Drill is one of the best tool for you in this case. I will demonstrate that in next videos, in next part of this video. And then we have Genie.ai, another very amazing tool. Genie.ai is basically a tool which allow you to write, but at the same time cite. Okay, we can do similar thing with the ChatGPT, Bard, and Bing, but most of the time these citations are not correct. They are not accurate. So don't use these general purpose ChatGPTs for research purposes. Sometimes it's not worthy to do it because it will give you a wrong information and misleading information that might be resulting in a disaster. So you need to be careful what platform you need to use. So when you are doing research, use this Power Drill, then Jenny.ai, and then we have Elicit.com. This is another amazing website and amazing tool that help us in writing research and finding out the research article, different concept and answering different research questions. So these are different tools which we can use, but due to the limitation of the time, I can just focus on a few of them. I just selected 6 only because they can cover the whole purpose, but there are many other tools like SciSpace, like Drill, like Autobot, Copilot. There are many other tools which can help you to write and work on your literature review and research. So the purpose is to automate your research. Starting from having no idea in mind, you can work with these AI tools and develop your own research based on your own interest. Okay, so most of the time we do have interest, but we don't know where to start and what to start. So that's where AI tools are really helpful for us, from idea generation until writing. So first three tools, you can use them for idea development, and the next three tools you can use for literature review and working within your research. Okay, so that's the idea of this AI tool. So I believe until here things are clear, because the next slide I'll be taking you through these different tools and we'll see how we can work with them. So let's move on with that, or I can finish these uh, topics and then we can move on with the, I believe, with the practical session. Okay, so elicit, uh, the comparison between these different tools I have already explained to you. Its requirement, which give me the sense which tools are needed to be used. For example, if I'm using a tool which is maybe just for idea generation, so I can use ChatGPT, Bing, or Bard, but I need some relevant literature. I want to extract some information from the existing body of knowledge. In that case, I would be using Elicit or SciSpace or Jenny.ai if I want to write something. And then if I want to upload my own data and work on my own data, then I would ask you to work with PowerDrill. That is really amazing tool for working with. Okay, so that these are a general comparison between the platforms. So be careful when you are selecting your platform for automating your research or AI powered research. Enormous tools are available, but we need to see what exactly we need to use. Okay, so that's why the use case need to be clear, and then you can define the platform you are using. Okay, so that's how it works. Now let's before moving to the final point, this is my the whole sense of my work, or you can say that the crux of my work, or output of my work working with. So how we work with these platforms. So the thing is, when you are interacting with any AI tool, it means that uh, it allow you to ask any question. You need to interact with them. It is the same case if you are sitting in front of many professors and who have the authority and information about the subject, and you want to ask a question. So you need to think what type of question that should be that give me, accurate information. I can ask them anything and they would, reply me. But the question I'm going to ask is the key that will unlock the information we need. Okay, so that means that the structure of that question is really important. And that's why when we are talking about AI powered research, we always talk about the prompt engineering, the way, the structure you ask your question. Okay, that's really important. So I have developed a formula, and that formula is published in a few papers as well. So this formula is in process, not published really yet, but it's just the latest information. I'm sharing it with you. So this formula is basically the way you need to craft your prompt. And remember, the most important part of extracting information out of AI tool is the way you write your prompt. Okay. So that's why it's really important to understand the way we interact with this AI tool. So I named this formula as the 4C formula. There are 4 aspects of every prompt which you need to cover while you are writing. Okay. So you need to give that clear information. So you need to give that clear information to all the AI tools. No matter which tool you are using, the prompt engineering will remain same. Okay. For example, the first thing is about call to action. What action do you need? What do you need from this AI platform to do? I will explain that call to action because it is a verb or it is call for action. Okay, so the first thing is about the call for action. Then you need to provide a content. Okay, so content is really important. What type of content you need? For example, let's say write is a call to action. So system is ready now. I'm going to write something. Okay, what write? You need to write a letter. Now a letter is a content. Okay, so you are giving the content. Okay, so you need to write a letter. But in research, we do same. We need to give it a command or call to action. Then we need to provide the content. What exactly the system need to do. Okay. And then in our research, there are two important features which we must need to include in any prompt, which is called constructs and context. Okay. So the construct is arrangement of your variables. So constructs are basically the variables, the outcomes of your research. So you need to write what constructs you are looking for and the context. For example, in some specific country, in some specific age group, in some specific sector, industry, all these types of the information is called the context. So remember these 4 C's: call to action, content, constructs, and the context. Okay, so this will give you a prompt structure like this. Okay, so you have prompt structure, and this prompt structure would be like this. So action verb, first thing you need to give it an action or the call to action. Then the main concept of idea related to literature review, because these are some of these tools which we are using for literature review only. And this is called the content. Okay, as I will give you some examples also. But with this, you need to add construct. For example, what exactly you are looking for in terms of your uh, variables of the study of the research. Okay, so you need to provide those constructs, and finally you need to add the context if your research is context specialist for a specialist. For example, if you are talking about the male and female, if you are talking about any gender or any age group or any particular region or sector or particular disease. So all these are different form of the context which we need to include within our prompt. Okay. Now, first question here I need to learn is what exactly a prompt look like, and especially the verbs or the call to action. Sorry, I think I have exceeded the time where I was thinking. So let's just quickly focus on the first thing is about the verb. It's a verb or call to action, very important one. But there are 3 types of the verbs which we can understand. Those who are familiar with the Bloom's taxonomy, they are aware of this thought. One is called lower order thinking, then mid order thinking, and higher order thinking. In the lower order thinking, we ask AI tool to bring information from the data bank which the AI tool already have. For example, if I ask you to remember something or to understand something, this is called a lower order thinking. You are reading, you are remembering, you are memorizing it, and in the exam, I will ask you, can you define? So we have seen this word many times in our examination, define. So defining is like you need to bring that definition which is already in your mind because you remembered it. Okay, so that's how we work with the lower order thinking. Then recall, list, recognize, name, repeat, identify, label. All these are some sort of the lower order thinking, but there are many other verbs are also available. I have created a complete list of verbs which reflects the lower order thinking. But lower order thinking doesn't mean that this is a rank. This is not a rank. This is a use case. Okay, remember this and try to understand. The use case means sometime we need to define. Obviously, for example, your construct organizational performance. So I would ask you, can you define organizational performance? This is where you will be using this sort of verbs, okay? Lower order thinking verb, where you don't need to analyze, you just need to retrieve the information. This is where you will be using lower order thinking. Okay, clear? So once we move on, then we have mid-level thinking, where I want the system to bring information from the data bank, but at the same time do some sort of analysis. Okay, so analyze or maybe apply, illustrate, operate, show, implement. So some sort of analysis is being done. It's not just the retrieval of the information, but the retrieval of information with some analysis. Okay, so that how we do work with the mid-level thinking. Most of the time, when we are writing our introduction in literature review or any research article, this is where we use mid-level thinking, and also in the conclusion section of our research. So we try to sum up the information, but also provide some, implementation or maybe some application or, some demonstration. So this is where we ask AI to bring that information, but at the same time, do some analysis. So this is mid-level thinking. And higher order thinking is a really important one, where we ask AI tool to develop something new, to make decisions. Okay, so this is higher order thinking. For example, critique, defend, develop, these types of the word. For example, I'm planning to develop a new framework. I'm planning to develop a new theory, a new solution for a problem. So all these are thinking abilities which are related with the higher order thinking. This is purely analytical skills, or skills where we are taking decisions based on the information we already have. We are not retrieving that information, but we are processing that information and extracting the solution out of that information. So that is higher order thinking. So what I did, I defined the verbs into three different phases: the lower order thinking, mid-level thinking, and higher order thinking, where you can extract information from different, AI tools. So let's have a quick example, and then we'll go back to practical session. So if I ask ChatGPT, can you recall the main finding related to the efficacy of cognitive behavior therapy? The content, okay, the efficacy of cognitive behavior therapy about anxiety management. So anxiety management, now it is my construct of the selected studies based on adolescent populations in the clinical setting. So the context is clear. So you can see all these different four parts of our prompts are being completed. But I ask it to recall only for any analysis. Then mid-level thinking for same research question would be demonstrate how the finding of the reviewed study on cognitive behavioral therapy can be applied in practical clinical setting for managing anxiety, and same the context in adolescents. So it means that now the prompt is being changed. The way I crafted this prompt is different than the first one. So first I just asked for recall. Now I ask it to implement and tell me the practical implication, how we can do that. Okay, so this is a question based on the information available. And then finally, higher order thinking is critically evaluate the reliability and validity of the findings presented in the literature on the efficacy of cognitive behavioral therapy for anxiety management in adolescent population. So now if you check on this prompt, the result would be evaluation. So critically evaluate the reliability and validity, which is not available in the literature. So we're trying to assess the information and asking AI to analyze that information and give us the critical evaluation of the prompt. Okay, so this is where we use these three different distinct level of thinking. Okay, so you need to identify where you want to work on which sort of the thinking. For example, in introduction, we do mid-level thinking. In literature review, most of the time we do lower order thinking, but also sometime higher order, where we want to criticize the existing body of knowledge, or to develop something new, or to develop some new theories out of the existing one. So that's how we work with AI tools. This is how we interact with AI tools. With this, I will go with the practical session, very brief practical session, and then we can take some questions later on. Let's start working with the ChatGPT. I believe most of you have already idea what ChatGPT is, right? So once you logged into ChatGPT, you will see this interface. You need to log in. You can use any login. I'm using this one. Okay, so now I'm here in ChatGPT. As I mentioned, ChatGPT 3.5 and ChatGPT 4. Okay, now these two are different features. ChatGPT 4, you need to pay some amount, so I'm not interested in it for now. So let's work on ChatGPT 3.5. Now, where do I use this ChatGPT and why this ChatGPT is important? Let's start working on this ChatGPT. I'm just giving you a brief idea, but obviously when you will work on these ChatGPT and learn, that will give you different options. So you can watch this video again, use that 4C formula and craft your question accurately, and then obviously you will get accurate result from these tools. So my idea here is just to give you a brief overview how we optimize the use of these AI tools. The first thing, and which is really, really important, to set up ChatGPT for the use. Most of the people, they are just writing, prompts, and they are not giving information to ChatGPT. So you can go down here on the corner, and there is a button for, there are 3 dots. So click on these 3 dots. You will see this tab, custom instructions. So you need to click here, and this is where you need to provide information about yourself and what the purpose of using this ChatGPT, because your answer would be crafted based on the information you are providing to ChatGPT. If you are not doing it, the ChatGPT is too general for everybody, so you are not receiving the result you want to. Okay, so first thing, go to this. Now this is where you have different option, where you are based, what do you work, why. It's about yourself. You need to provide. I have created a few templates on this custom instructions for researchers and academicians. So, and these are available on the website. I can share those links later on. So you can download those templates and provide that information based on those templates and copy and paste here. But the second one is also, how do you want ChatGPT to respond? That is another very important aspect of ChatGPT, which we need to provide this information, because when you have this information provided in the ChatGPT, now ChatGPT is being set up in a way that it will give you accurate answers. So that's really important for us. The answer we need, the way we want to craft these answers. So I have these templates, but for now, I think you can just read this information and provide that information to ChatGPT, so your replies can be crafted based on your questions, okay, based on your, uh, preferences. So let's go back here for a while. For now, I just want to copy a prompt and show you the difference between these prompts, okay? So let's go to ChatGPT. I pasted this prompt and I'm not the expert of this study. I just made these cases for illustration purposes only, okay? So when I click here, the ChatGPT is giving me all the information, okay, which is very powerful, to the point, and accurate, because the prompt was accurate, okay? Now, can I provide some general information on this? But I cannot recall specific finding individual study. The many data include information until 2022, and I can't access that. Same problem which I mentioned to you is the problem. We can't use ChatGPT 4. So that's why the information is until 2021 only. So let's try another one. Bing. Okay, so Bing is Microsoft AI, but the limitation which we were experiencing in ChatGPT 3.5 is not here. Okay, so what we can do is we can just quickly go to this chat. accept everything. So this is ChatGPT. Now I'm asking same question with Bing. Let's see how this Bing would respond to you. Bing have three different options of writing, and it can learn from your profiles as well. So it can give you creative, balanced, or precise answer is depending on your uh, choice. Okay. So this is another tool, being very powerful. Now you can see it's not just only giving you information, but also giving you the references from where it took this information. So that's where the chat GPT can't help you, but obviously Bing can help you in a better way. Okay. And similar is the situation for Bard. So if you want to click on this link and then you can learn from that link as well, and then you will find the different references available here. Okay, so you can see here these, and there are the links available to these different research articles which are being provided by the Bing. Okay, so now this is for Bing and Bard. Let's try to look into another one, which is Power Drill, right? Let's work on. Okay, this is Illicit. Illicit is another really powerful um, software, but this tool is, I think my credits are over, but still we can just type these questions because Illicits will not allow you to work without some free credits. Okay, for every month we have some free credit. Like just let's see another alternative, which is SciSpace. It's same like your Illicit. We have another alternative. So I ask similar question to SciSpace. Now, SciSpace, what this tool is doing now, it's completely different than Bing and ChatGPT. What it is doing is it is giving us information based on just research article. It gives you summary of five different research article and give you a detailed literature review, a huge number of studies. If you want to show more papers, everything is being discussed here and the insight. But at the same time, if you want to add some column, for example, if you want to add like summary of abstracts is already there, let's say results. So it will add another column and add results from your study. So limitation on this research. So it will also add some limitations. Okay. And then let's say practical implications. So it will give you all this information. This is really, really powerful, and you can download it as a CSV file. You can also upload a few of your PDF files and work within this tool. So these tools are designed for working within the research, and on the back end, Semantic Scholar is being used, which is a very powerful database for research. Okay. And most importantly, you can ask any follow-up question based on all these information available. Now, how to ask question? This is where again you need to go back for the prompt engineering and craft your question and ask some related questions based on the prompt engineering, based on the 4C formula. So if I just paste a similar question and now system giving me a few replies, so we can play with it and we can follow all this information and we can learn more, and most importantly we can export all these results into a CSV file, which is Microsoft Excel. So this is really, really powerful AI tools which can help you or which can assist you to write more efficiently, because the literature review and learning from the literature is an important part of our research. So I think this is a brief introduction of all these tools which we are using. Um, I gave you introduction to ChatGPT. I gave you introduction to Bing. We discussed the size space or illicit. They work in the same way. Let's take the second or third prompt now. Let's just take this prompt and try to see how this ChatGPT is giving us result. Now, if you see, the ChatGPT will give you different results compared to the previous one. You can see that in the previous, we just asked for, uh, you know, retrieval of the information. Can you recall? Now we ask for creating. Now the things are entirely different. Okay, so there are many different aspects of validations, and because we asked ChatGPT to evaluate the validity and reliability of the study. So this is what it gives us. So the answer is completely different and based on the validity and reliability of the existing studies or research. So this is how we craft our prompt. This is the most important part of working with any AI tool. So if you are not crafting your prompt accurately, it means that you are not receiving accurate information, which might be a difficult situation, and we don't want to be in that situation. Okay, so let me just conclude on my presentation, and then we can go with the question and answer sessions if you want to ask any question. Okay, so the first thing is about the AI tools. AI tools are really important nowadays, powerful as well. So it means that we need to work with AI tools, but we need to learn and we need to reshape the way we are working. And I have gave you a few AI tools, but the word is not limited to these AI tools only. It's about your use case, the way you want to use AI tool. Then you can find out different tools based on your requirement. There are lots of amazing tools available, but it is us, we need to define what we need and how we are going to work with that. And to working with any AI tool, one thing you must need to learn is prompt engineering. It's really powerful, and you need work with the different phase of your AI, prompt engineering. But I have created a simple formula. If you want to follow that formula, that would be really helpful for you all. I think with this, thank you very much.